Welcome to episode 36 of the Clock Enders podcast. I'm your host, Reginald Dino. I haven't done it in a while, so I haven't done it since the Man City game, before the Man City game. So I didn't even recap the Man City games. I didn't give you player reactions. Didn't give you what I felt. I felt happened in the game. My reaction to what happened in the game. When things like that happen in a game, the reaction that every Arsenal fan is going to have is going to be the same. So if you don't get that show out that minute, that right after that game happens, then it just seems like you're repeating what everybody else is saying. And how does that make your show any different? So once I missed that day or the 2 days, it was just like, it doesn't make sense to put out a show. So that's why you didn't see one from me about it. I'm not going to touch upon it in this show. I'll touch upon it a little bit in this show. We just beat Southampton yesterday afternoon, 3-1 handily at the Emirates. Got a little bit dicey in the second half, but a couple of substitutions by our manager put that game to bed. So we'll discuss the player ratings for that game. We had a Champions League game midweek against PSG, beat them handily, but that's not the PSG that we all remember. When we think of PSG, that's not the PSG that we remember. So obviously Mbappe's gone to Real Madrid, Messi's gone, even though he did nothing at PSG. The PSG Neymar is not there anymore. Well, he's been sold. Kimpembe's hurt. So they have a lot of injuries there. Still have some quality players, but it's just not the PSG that we thought. I'm not taking anything away from what Arsenal did during that game, but when you're thinking about blockbuster PSG, that's not the PSG that we're used to or that we expect to see when Champions League fixtures come around. But won the game 2-0 handily again. Just to touch upon and kill it dead, the Manchester City game. How you can have Michael Oliver as a referee for any Arsenal game that has to be looked at. Every time something comes out for Michael Oliver, there's some ridiculous thing that he's done in his past that proves that he's corrupt. And everybody's gonna come out here. They don't want to say that he's incompetent. They don't want to say that he's maybe the job is bigger than him and he can't perform at the highest level. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say he's corrupt because he is. He is. Somebody sent me, and I've known this for a couple of months, but somebody sent me yesterday, which jogged my memory. Manchester City took Michael Oliver with them on their Dubai trip, and he reffed games for them and was paid for it. So for Howard Webb, I need to ask this question. English FA, I need to ask this question. How can a club team take a referee from your league, their domestic league, pay them to ref games for them abroad for their winter, I think it was their winter break, or maybe it was preseason or whatever. But how can you take a referee that refs in your domestic league, pay them to ref games for you, and then come back and have that same referee ref your games in the domestic league? Somebody answer this for me. How can I take a referee that refs in my league, take him abroad, probably all expenses paid, accommodations paid for, everything paid for, and then pay him £20,000 to ref games for us, and then have that ref come back and ref games in my domestic league against with my team in those games? Where is this done? Where is this done? And we sweep it under the rug. The FA sweeps it under the rug. Shush, shush, shush. Don't say anything. Maybe people will forget about it. And people have. Only a couple of people have brought this up. I don't care if it's off season. I don't care if it's in his own time. I don't care. Once you're associated in that league, you cannot accept money from a team. You can't. So if you're going to accept that $20,000 from Man City, what other money are you accepting from them as well? So Guys, the same way that the coaches and the players have to come out after the game and speak to the press and answer stupid questions. Why do you think the referee did this? Why do you think they did that? Why do you think VAR said this? Simple answer. Have the referees have their press conference too with the media, so the media can ask them the questions. You're asking Mikel Arteta why VAR did this. Like, how was he supposed to know? Sat the referees there and ask them. Put Michael Oliver in his seat and say, why did you book Trossard for kicking the ball away but didn't book Doku in the same game? Why is one a yellow card and one isn't? Let's hear the answer. The English Premier League referees are the most protected species on the face of this earth, and I don't know why. Since Michael Oliver did that last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I haven't heard a word about it from him. Haven't heard a word from him. Why? Why? How is this possible? Why is this possible? The referee should be sat there with the VAR guys beside them and say, what happened? Because for the Declan Rice one, and I think I've touched upon this in another show, the Declan Rice one, 1,000% the referee didn't see him kick the ball away. 1,000% he didn't. I think he was coming over to give the other guy a yellow card. And then VAR got in the ear and said he kicked the ball away. And again, VAR is not supposed to be getting involved in handing out second yellow cards. That's not what VAR is for. It's for offsides. It's for offside on goals. It's for any fouls leading up to goals. That's what VAR is for. It's not to referee the game from the sky and say, oh, that's a second yellow. Give him a second yellow. It's not supposed to do that, because 1,000% the referee did not see Declan Rice kick the ball, and it was told to him by VAR. So why is VAR doing that? Sat the VAR sit the referee and the VAR referee there and ask them how that happened, why that happened. So again, you guys might call it incompetence. I call it corruption. You can't have the biggest league in the world, or the most expensive league, or the league that makes the most money in the world. You can't have that and not have people taking money left, right, and center. You can't. You can't. You're telling me all the money that comes into the EPL is going to where it should be? No chance. Not a chance. People get rich off the league. It's fine. But when it's becoming so blatant and thrown in your face that you guys can't do anything about it, so we're just going to do this. Teams and fans have to stand up. Managers, they all have to stand up and say enough's enough. The only team Michael Oliver hasn't given a red card to in his career, Manchester City. Last year, I believe it was last year. Well, yeah, it was last year. Mateo Kovacic fouled Arsenal players 3 times. Got a yellow card for the first one, and the next 2 were straight reds. Not second yellows. They were straight reds. No booking, no yellow for either of them. Almost broke Martin Odegaard's ankle, almost broke Declan Rice's ankle. Not even another yellow. And those 2 tackles were straight reds. If Xhaka did that, it's a straight red, 20-game suspension. Everton gets deducted points. When asked after the game, hey, Mike, why didn't you give a second yellow? Oh, I didn't want to ruin the game. You didn't want to ruin the game. And then we all sit there, okay, no problem. Howard Webb, leader of the referees, I didn't want to ruin the game, no problem. Well, what kind of response is that? Guys, Michael Oliver should not be reffing in this league. He should be under investigation for bribery. He's corrupt as they come. I don't need to know him to know that. I just see the actions, see the track record, see the stats when he refs games. He's corrupt. He's corrupt. Players can't say it, coaches can't say it, clubs can't say it. I'm saying it. Corrupt as they come. Ridiculous. Anyways, let's get into player ratings for the last game for Southampton at the Emirates. I mean, I'm getting so heated. Just bringing that back up is making me angry. So I have to get out of here. Let's get into the player ratings for last night's game. I mean, how you can take money to referee a game and then come back and referee in that league again for that team. Unbelievable. Doku kicks the ball away. Don't worry about it. Just keep playing. Trossard kicks the ball away. Yep, second yellow, red. And for people, and the last thing, and for people out there, Arsenal, sit back, park the bus. What did you expect them to do in 10 against Manchester City? How would you have played? So whatever team you support, because you're not an Arsenal fan, obviously. So whatever team you support, you go down to 10 at the Etihad against Manchester City and then play them toe-to-toe. See how that works out for you. We did that. We went toe-to-toe a couple of years ago. We got slapped, I think, 5-0. Arsenal is so naive. They haven't learned their lesson yet. They think they're good. They're not good. And then we go, okay, no problem. So we change our tactics and we get a result at the Etihad. Negative. So negative. Master of the dark arts and John Stone should not be talking. I mean, that Akanji character should not be talking. Average footballers at best. Average footballers at best. And you're the first guy to open your mouth, John Stones. You should be very, very happy that you're employed to play football, that someone's paying you to play football. Just like Johnny Evans. You should be ecstatic. Someone's actually paying me to do this, and I'm bang average at it. You shouldn't be the first guy to open your mouth. Bernardo Silva, small man syndrome, Bernardo Silva, relax. Relax. You're the best team in the world, this, that, and the third, and you couldn't find a way to beat a 10-man Arsenal. Now it's Arsenal's fault. They didn't play the way we wanted them to play. They didn't play open and expand so we could score 6 goals on them. Shut up, man. And Erling Haaland. You know when you were in high school, the big dumb idiot that probably played football or was just a big dumb oaf? That's Erling Haaland to me. Great striker. But I don't know, man. It just seems like I'm a pretty good judge of people's personalities. He just looks like a dick. Not a dick to hang around with. Like, if you don't know him, he's just a dick. To wing the ball off of Gabriel's head when he's not looking, cowardly. Cowardly. But again, players take on the personality of their manager. Big mouth, whiny, cowardly crybabies. And that's the last thing I'll say about that. Getting into the Southampton game. We'll start at the back. David Raya really didn't have much to do. Really didn't have much to do. I had a couple of opportunities. I think even the commentator in the first half said, we haven't said David Raya's name since we introduced the lineup. And that was probably 40 minutes into the first half. So got lucky off with a cross that came off. I think it was a corner. So it was headed. It came off someone's shoulder and hit the bar. Got lucky with that. I still believe anything in the 6-yard box, the goalie should be claiming, but I'm not gonna nitpick that. It's fine. So we're gonna give him a 7. Really didn't have the chance on the goal. We'll just give him a 7. A surprise for me was on the right-hand side with Thomas Partey playing right back, which tells me all I need to know about Jakub Kiwior and possibly his future with the club. If we're slotting in Thomas Partey at right back instead of putting Kiwior there, and I know you're going to say, what, he's a left back, he's left-footed. I don't care. At this level, you represent your country at the highest level in the highest tournament that's possible in the World Cup. You represent your country. You can be left-footed and play on the right side. I don't want to hear this nonsense. This left-sided center back because he's left-footed on the right. It's nonsense. When you're playing at this level, you should be able to play on both sides. Both of your sides should be equally strong. So, and I know coaches are out there. No, it's not true. I know what you're going to say, but as a professional footballer playing for your national team, which all of these guys pretty much do, you should be able to play on the right-hand side as well. But anyways, involved in the play, kept things ticking on the right-hand side. Didn't really overlap like Ben White usually does. Ben White's hurt, by the way. That's why he played there. Didn't really do much. Didn't do much wrong, I should say. Couple of key tackles, key recoveries as well. We're going to give Thomas Partey an 8. Customary 8. In the middle, Gabriel Magalhaes. Didn't do anything wrong. Again, strong, big, strong, physical at the back. Played the ball around. Was dangerous on corners. I mean, we haven't scored a corner in how many games now? So I think 1 or 2 actually. But still, it's someone that you have to mark. He's a big figure, big imposing figure in the other team's penalty area. So, caused a couple of problems. You got to keep your eye on him. Didn't do anything wrong defensively. Maybe got caught out for the goal. Was out of position. Saliba had to come over. Maybe I mean nitpicking. So we'll give him a 7 for that performance. Saliba, his partner. I mean, another great performance. Quick feet. Got involved in some of the plays in the first half. Was further up the field than I've seen him this season. Again, quick feet. He made a couple of guys look silly with some dribbling, which is for a big man and a defensive man as well to be able to do stuff like that. I mean, thank you, Unai Emery. Every time I see Unai Emery, I clap him. Thank you. Thank you. $27 million for William Saliba. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Customary 8 for Willow. And then on the left side, this guy, I don't know, man. Like we got a bargain. 40 million is a bargain. My partner on my other podcast, Joel, he calls him Ricky Flowers. I guess Calafiore is a flower in Italian. I don't know. But he calls him Ricky Flowers. How do you like him? He's incredible. To be 4 games or 5 games into your career at Arsenal and play like he's playing like he's been playing here the whole time with Arteta. He's picked up this inverted left back. Fantastic. He can recover. He's big. He's strong. He can play with his feet. I think we've seen the last of Zinchenko. If it wasn't for the actual guy that I'm giving the man of the match to, this guy would have been the man of the match yesterday. So we're giving him an 8. Moving into the midfield. Who was in the midfield? Start with Jorginho. Didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he's an older guy. He's basing his best way of playing is when other players are running, because he has that vision when he can see runs and spaces and play balls into that. So if the players aren't running or making those runs, he doesn't look as effective because he's not going to dribble and beat anybody. He's one touch, 2 touch maybe, and then through ball or over the top or whatever. So you have to be making those runs. So if you don't think he's effective, it's because the guys aren't making the runs to open up the space where he can ping a through ball. He made one pass, I believe, through ball to Kai Havertz, I believe, or it might have been Saka. Like first time, got it first time, it threw. Beautiful play. Again, was taken off in the 60th minute. Didn't do anything wrong defensively. Kept the ball ticking over. I'll give him an 8. His partner, as always, Declan Rice. I mean, industry, always running, always, getting himself about, doesn't give the ball away, gave the ball away once, I believe, and tracked back, tackled, and got it back. So that's what you want from your when you're defensive midfielders if he's not the creative guy. So an 8 for Declan Rice. I mean, the corners that he swings in as well are just, they're a nightmare for the defenders and the goalies as well. So I'm giving him an 8. Third guy in the midfield, this guy here. I mean, this is the man of the match, guys. When he first came into the team, even myself, I was, oh my God, what are we doing? How much? Kai Havertz? Come on. But just based on the track record that Mikel Arteta has when players aren't playing their best, prime example, Granit Xhaka turned Granit Xhaka into one of the best midfielders in the EPL. Turned him into the villain to one of the fan favorites, even though Xhaka decided to leave after that season. Interviews said that he was going to leave the season before, but Mikel Arteta convinced him to stay, and then the redemption season happened for him, and I think he was still ready to leave. Him and his family were still ready to leave, go back to Germany, so that's why he left. But Granit Xhaka, that's my guy. But this Kai Havertz guy, Mikel Arteta has changed him. He fights for every ball in the air. He battles, he chases, he scores, he assists. He's everything for us up top right now. Everything. He gets a 9 for me, the man of the match for the Clockenders podcast. He was in the 95th minute, still chasing, still battling for the ball. In the 93, up 3-1, still chasing and battling for the ball. Scored a fantastic goal to get us right back into the game. Just picked up the ball, picked up the game by the scruff of the neck as well, and went through on net and scored that beauty off the post. And that's what got us going. So Kai Havertz, man of the match. Chelsea fans kicking themselves. How come he didn't play like that for us? Maybe it's your manager. Maybe. So we'll go up top. 2 changes up top. They started Gabriel Jesus. Looks off the pace to me. I mean, he's going to have to get some time and some games under his belt. Had opportunities to release a couple of players for semi-breakaways. I know we had one in the first half where he could have released Bukayo Saka and didn't. Just took too many touches on the ball, killed other guys' runs, and then tried to do things himself. I think he might be trying to show Mikel Arteta that, I should be playing. The only way he can show that to him is to score goals. So he's going to have to be a little bit selfish. I get it. But you can still contribute while providing assists or, good plays to set up goals and stuff like that. So for Gabriel Jesus, I'm going to give him, he's probably going to get the lowest grade here. So I'm giving him a 6. His partner that also started for the first time for us, Raheem Sterling. I mean, same thing, maybe too many touches, wants to prove that he belongs here, maybe doesn't want to go back to Chelsea when the loan's over. Maybe he wants to do enough in a start that can get him more starts and, have Mikel Arteta say, hey, listen, you still have a little bit left in the tank. How about we make that loan deal permanent? I know that's probably what he wants. I know he doesn't want to go back to Chelsea, so he's probably trying a little bit too hard, but he was running at guys. He was taking guys on. He was causing problems. Again, maybe one or 2 touches too many to release guys when he's trying to cut back across the 6-yard box. But these guys are trying to do things so that they're not overlooked when the big games come. So I'm going to give him a 7. And our star boy Bukayo Saka, close to being the man of the match. Goal and an assist. Beautiful assist for Martinelli's goal. Poacher's goal for the third one to seal it. It amazes me when I look at these guys. Like Bukayo Saka doesn't look like a big guy, but I saw him drop his shoulder and guys were bouncing off of him. I mean, the strength these guys have, they look like skinny guys, but they're all really strong. Really, really strong. And Bukayo Saka is one of those guys. I mean, again, he looks like a small little guy, but he drops his body into you. You're flying. So, I mean, a goal and an assist, usually that gets you a man of the match rating here on the Clockenders podcast. But I can't with what Kai Havertz did yesterday. The work rate, the goal, the effort. We just play balls into high balls into him. He's fighting for everything. He's going up for everything. He doesn't take any possessions off, which is what I love to see from my striker. So getting back to Bukayo Saka, we are going to give him an 8 for that performance yesterday. Close to a 9 again. If it wasn't for Havertz, he'd be the man of the match. Some of the substitutes that came on, if any, actually Arteta made 3 substitutes that turned the game. This guy came on and just a little water bug all over the place with the ball. I guess he gets an assist for the third goal. He tried to step over the ball and it hit the bottom of his cleat and was picked up by the defender. Defender put it in Saka's path and he scored. I don't know if he gets the assist because it's actually because the Southampton player did intercept it, but just all over the field, skillful guy. Things changed when he got on the field. Didn't play that much. Probably played about 30, 25 minutes. I'm still going to give him a 7. And that's not bad. I mean, he didn't play a lot, but I mean, for what he did on the field, getting a 7 is pretty good. Who else? Tomiyasu made his appearance back. He only played about 5 minutes, so we're not really going to give him a rating. Who else came off? Oh, Mikel Moreno came on. I don't have a picture for him. I have to find one. He came on. I mean, still probably just learning how to play with these guys. Didn't do anything wrong again. Did nothing wrong. Won a couple of duels, played some balls through, made some lung busting runs back to help defend. He gets a 7 as well. Oh, this guy. This guy came on. How could I forget Martinelli? Yeah, and if it wasn't for Saka and Havertz, this guy probably would have been the man of the match. This guy played for 30 minutes and it was a terror on that side. Scored the game-winning goal and just terrorized these guys. He is back. There was a little bit of a blip. I think maybe the first 3 or 4 games where he hadn't scored. And what's wrong with Martinelli? He's a one-hit wonder. He only has one move. But I think, and everyone's saying this, putting Calafiori behind him and having Calafiori, at least the threat of Calafiori going forward or going around on a bent run or an overlapping run leaves Martinelli one-on-one with guys. And if Martinelli's one-on-one with anybody, Kyle Walker, the greatest right back ever to play football, Kyle Walker, even him one-on-one, I put my money on Martinelli. Martinelli was fantastic yesterday, not just because he scored the goal, but just, he was getting involved. He was getting involved in the plays. He was taking guys on. That's what I want to see from my wingers. I want to see you take guys on. I'm always screaming at the TV, skin him, take him. And he doesn't. So I think he's starting to get his confidence back now. So kudos to him. He played fantastic yesterday. He gets a 7 as well. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give him I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8. He was fantastic yesterday. Game-winning goal. Kept himself on side for that. I mean, everything about that play was excellent. So he gets that. And Mikel Arteta, I mean, as soon as they scored, I was on the couch here. As soon as they scored, I was like, okay, enough. Jorginho out, Sterling out, Jesus out, Trossard, Martinelli, and I don't know, whoever you want to bring on Tomiyasu and put Thomas Partey back in the midfield. Enough's enough. Okay. It's not that the lineup was incorrect. That was the right game to play these guys. Sterling and Jesus, that was the right game. Because no matter what, we're still gonna win. We're still gonna beat them. And this is the game that you can get these guys. You can get Martinelli rest. You can probably take off Saka a little bit earlier. You don't have to stick Moreno in there. Martinelli and Trossard get a rest at the same time, which is unheard of. Because usually one comes in for the other. Now I can rest both of them at the same time. Get them a little bit of rest. A couple of them Martinelli's going away for Brazil for this international break, another international break 4 weeks after the last one. Unbelievable. I don't think Trossard's going. So, I mean, you're getting them extra rest. And we have a big game. First game out of the international break is Liverpool at home. So you can get guys rest now. Beautiful. So I see what he was doing. Mikel Arteta, I see what he was doing. He played the right lineup. And then when he needed something, he was like, okay, enough. And put the 3 guys on, and that turned the game on its head, and we won the game. So Mikel Arteta gets an 8 for me. And that's the game, guys. That's the game. We have, again, another international break. So no domestic football for 2 weeks. Unbelievable. There's another one in November too. So we'll play about 3 or 4 games and then have another 2-week break. And then there's not another one until I think March. So we'll go through the November, December, January, February period with football, with domestic football every week. I don't know what this break's for. I think it's Nations League qualifying, another garbage bullshit tournament that more players, just giving the opportunity for more players to get injured, but whatever. So guys, we want to have a show next week, obviously. Well, we might do, actually, if the women's are playing, we might do we could do a recap of the women's games, or the under 18s or something like that. Maybe. I'll see how it goes. But guys, another, like I said, a big game coming out of the international break. We play Liverpool at home. That's more of a challenge to me than I believe Manchester City is. Manchester City just feels that everybody should play the way they want them to play so they can beat them. But Liverpool, they come out and play. So we'll see how. That's more of a test to me, a litmus test to me, is playing Liverpool, and playing Liverpool at Anfield is another big test. So hopefully we can have Martin Odegaard back. Ben White will be back. I think they're saying that those two will be back after this international break. So comes at a pretty good time. I wouldn't want to play Liverpool without those two. So comes at a great time. So hopefully they'll be back. But guys, as usual, thanks for watching. And maybe, just maybe, we'll catch you next week. Come on, you Gunners.